160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. We got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 Welcome back.
There I am. Hey, welcome. It is Monday, September 5th, 2022. Unless, of course, this is a repeat show. Then it's whatever day it is.
Why are you laboring on Labor Day?
You know what? Because we haven't had a show in 2 weeks. One of it was my fault. One of it was your fault. And
no, one of it was Artemis's fault.
I miss my people. I forgot to tell everybody that the following week I was going to Atlantic City, the second greatest city in the country, and then last week you were going to do a live thing of the rocket launch,
which we did. It was pretty good. It didn't go.
So what did you possibly do for?
We talked about differences between that rocket and Apollo. We talked about the evolution of the space program. We ran some videos from NASA. It was pretty slick. That's
cool.
Looked pretty good.
All right, so
live feeds from the pad, things like that.
So basically, I missed my people. I didn't want to go 3 weeks without my people. I need this. This is
your therapy.
It's relaxing for me, And also, I feel like I'm using my college degree, which is kind of nice. All right, so on this day in 1921, Fatty Arbuckle's party in San Francisco ends with the death of a young actress, Virginia Rapp. And it was really the first scandal in Hollywood, and it was such a huge scandal. And even though Fatty was acquitted of any wrongdoing, he was just hosting the party. He didn't really know what was going on with the girl. His career was over. And pretty much of course, he wasn't in the best health anyway, but he never really survived that and died soon afterwards, probably of just despair.
The first cancellation?
Yeah, and really, there's an even just as equally sad epilogue. Chris Farley, who, basically he just wanted some validation that, he was good. And I think he would have gotten it. Basically, they were writing the Fatty Arbuckle story for Chris Farley to star in. And I think Chris Farley would have done an amazing job at that. I mean, he was fat and he was funny. And I really think that could have been the vehicle for him where people would have taken him seriously. And he was he agreed to do it, and it was about to happen. And then, of course, he stupidly followed the footsteps of his idol, Belushi, and died of a drug overdose in his apartment. And it's I don't usually like to start the show with that sad story, but overall, that two sad stories roped up in one there. For some reason, you're listening to That'll Learn Ya with me, Michael Buster McMahon. I am Michael Buster McMahon, and I read recipes like I'm reading science fiction. I'm reading the recipes, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
Oh, boy.
And have you met Peter? That's my pal and producer, Peter Cole. Say hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
He hopes to be the last man on Earth just to see if all those women were lying to him.
That was a good one.
Today on the show, cool stories about cool songs. Plus, if we have time, we'll discuss why the secret diary of Admiral Byrd can't possibly be real. But we probably won't have time for that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one.
That would be.
There's way too many inconsistencies in the way he would talk and everything. But it's too bad. I'd like to think that there are mammoths in Antarctica. It scares me that there might be Nazis in Antarctica, but anyway. So sit back, relax, and ask your doctor if That'll Learn Ya is right for you. Yeah, so I missed everybody. And, I hated starting the show off on the sad note, but unfortunately I have to continue. I did lose a coworker last week. He had succumbed to some of his demons, and he's 29 years old, and that's just, it's sad.
That's a little young.
It's sad and maddening at the same time. I mean, you're not, dying before you get to meet your grandkids. I mean, that's the way you gotta go. Okay, you meet your grandkids, and then you pass.
My father only got to meet one of them.
Yeah, I'm the oldest of five. I'm the only one of the five that remembers my maternal grandfather. But that was one of the things that, basically, your parents are going to go one day. And I had hoped that my daughter would have memories of all four grandparents. And all four grandparents are still alive. And, she's 15, so she made it. But, I was worried that one of them may go before she got a chance to meet him. So, God forbid when those days happen, she will have memories, good memories of all four of them. So that's one of the things that I was hoping for. So basically, it's not maybe the best song to dedicate to the situation, but it's a song that it's a situation that made me think of this song. It's a little known song. It wasn't that big of a hit by David and David, and this was their album called Boomtown. And after the album, things didn't really go so well for them, and they decided to part their ways. And, they kept in touch a little bit, but for the most part, they were done. And it was Sheryl Crow's album. Let me see. I wrote this down here. The Tuesday Night Music Club, the big one that she had. A lot of times when these solo artists do their album stuff, they'll hire session musicians for different songs.
Well, it really was the Tuesday Night Music Club. That's why they called that. They'd get together and just kind of jam.
Yeah. Well, so two of these session musicians that she hired separately she hired David and she hired David. And they, unbeknownst to them, in the rehearsal, they're like, hey, what the? You're here? Wow. And they were talking. And after that album came out, they said, you know what? We still have it. Let's get together and let's make another album. And that was in 2016. We heard that they were going to do that. And it's 2022.
No album.
It still isn't here.
Yeah.
So either they are being very meticulous on this, or they realize that, it's over. But basically, this was their only song that got any serious radio play. It's called Welcome to the Boomtown. Here's David and David, 89.5 WSKB.
Christina drives a 944. Satisfaction oozes from her pores. She keeps rings on her fingers, marble on her floor. Cocaine in her dresses, bars on her door. She keeps her back against the wall. She keeps her back against the wall. So I say, welcome, welcome to the boomtown. Pick a habit, we got plenty to go around. Welcome, welcome to the boomtown. All that money makes such a succulent sound. Welcome to the boomtown. Handsome Kevin got a little off track. Took a year off from college and he never went back. Now he smokes much too much, got a permanent headache. Deals dope at a Denny's, keeps a table in the back. He always listens to the ground. Always listens to the ground. So I say welcome, welcome to the boomtown. Pick a habit, we got plenty to go around. Welcome, welcome to the boomtown. All that money makes such a succulent sound. Welcome to the boomtown. But the ambulance arrived too late. I guess she didn't want to wait. So I say welcome, welcome to the boomtown. Pick a habit, we got plenty to go around. Welcome, welcome to the boomtown. All that money makes such a succulent sound. Welcome to the boomtown. Welcome to the boomtown. Welcome to the boomtown. Welcome to
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes and Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Pretty little angel eyes, pretty little angel eyes, pretty little angel, pretty little angel, pretty little, pretty little, pretty little angel. Pretty, pretty little angel eyes.
Angel eyes, I really love you so. Angel eyes, I'll never let you go because I love you, my darling angel eyes.
Pretty, pretty, pretty little angel eyes.
Angel eyes, you are so good to me, and when I'm in your arms, you feel so heavenly. You know I love you, my darling angel eyes. I know you were sent from heaven above to fill my life with your wonderful love. I know we'll be happy for eternity, 'cause I know, that our love is really real. Angel eyes, I really love you so. Angel eyes, I'll never let you go because I love you, my darling angel eyes.
Pretty little angel eyes, pretty little angel eyes, pretty little angel, pretty little angel, pretty little, pretty little, pretty little Pretty, 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 pretty little angel eyes.
Angel eyes, I really love you so. Angel eyes, I'll never let you go because I love you, my darling angel eyes.
Pretty, pretty little angel eyes.
Yeah! That's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
haven't
like
played
the
that.
drum fill.
Yeah, we haven't played that in a little while. Now, that's Curtis Lee. And you're probably saying, wow, how come Curtis Lee didn't have any more hits? Well, Phil Spector discovered him, and Phil Spector was the driving force behind that song. And afterwards, Curtis Lee was like, wow, I'm a star. And Phil Spector was like, well, yeah, you are, but, I kind of made you the star. And Curtis Lee was like, yeah, you know what, but I'm talented. I would have become a star without you. Oh, you think so? Yeah. Okay. Good luck. All right. You know what? See ya.
And Phil Spector knew how to bury people,
And
literally and figuratively.
Last we heard, well, I'm sure he's gone now, but Curtis Lee had to go into the construction business soon after that with his father. So he probably should have been nicer to Phil Spector.
Phil Spector was an a-hole.
Phil Spector absolutely was.
Sorry, he was an a-hole.
Absolutely. But you know what? It's best. It probably wasn't. If you wanted a music career, you probably had to put up with it. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I don't.
No, I mean I agree with you, but look what happens when you disagree with them. Also, too, it's disturbing. Like, it's tough to go through Labor Day without thinking of the old Jerry Lewis
I used to work that at Channel 40.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you just hear so many bad things about Jerry Lewis, and I don't want to hear anymore. I saw him on Broadway.
Did you?
He played the devil in Damn Yankees, and
Gotcha.
yeah, we had to go see that because I directed that in college. The funny story is, I was a senior in college, and I directed that show at the theater group. And a young high school girl came to see the show, and she was so impressed by the show. You know what happened?
What?
She married the director
Really?
eventually. Yeah, my wife, she had just show up to see the show, and all these years later, kind of cool.
Gotcha.
I don't know if she actually said, "Wow, I love this so much that someday I'm going to marry the director." It seemed kind of like a ridiculous goal, but hey, she achieved it.
Cool.
Do you know what I have here?
What do you have there?
I have a ham for our friend the ham.
Gotcha. Does it need to be in the refrigerator?
Do you have a fridge here?
I do in the office, yeah.
Oh,
So next time we
I
can
packed
throw-
I packed it with ice.
Oh, okay.
Because when Ken found out I was going down to Atlantic City, I guess this type of ham, Taylor ham, is sold in New Jersey, or that's the closest it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made in Trenton, so and he loves it. So I should have bought two, because I probably should have maybe tried a piece if he loves it this much. So I said, don't forget on the way back, because we went down with a cooler and food, but of course we ate some of the food, so we had room on the cooler for the
Gotcha.
way back, and we stopped in the first place.
Yeah, I do have a refrigerator in the office.
Oh, cool. All right. See, I packed it with ice, though, too, just in case. So
Okay.
that's cool. So we'll leave it there just in case Ken forgets to show up to get
He's
his
going to
ham.
stop by, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what else would you get for a ham? Right? You get him ham.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right. So now this is another kind of a jerk thing, maybe. So Ringo Starr and George Harrison, they were hanging out on a yacht in the Mediterranean. Ringo rented it for Mick Jagger's wedding. There's a lot of name dropping there, huh?
There you go.
So, and he and George are hanging out, and there was a female friend, and I don't know who this female friend was. I don't know if she ever became a star, but she wanted to be a singer. And Ringo's like, well, you know what? You can have this song. And she's like, really? He's like, yeah, maybe it'll be a hit for you. And, hey, I'll get some royalties from it, whatever. Because at the time, Ringo Starr was concentrating on his acting career. That worked out great. And but by the time the song was finished, Ringo realized this was too good to give away. And he told the girl, I'm sorry, I can't give it to you. I don't know if he gave her something else or if she ever became anything. I don't know. I'm guessing no, because I'm sure
She's gone to the annals of history.
this story would have been, and that girl was Carly Simon, or
And now the rest of the
we would
story.
have probably found out in this story who that girl was.
Yeah.
And the fact that we didn't probably means I don't know.
She's a footnote.
I don't know if you want to blame Ringo for that. I don't know if this song would have been a hit for her if she was a nobody. I mean, if you had Ringo and George Harrison pushing for it, maybe it could have helped. But there's no doubt that it worked out pretty well for Ringo. Here's a photograph, 89.5 WSKB.
Every time I see your face, it reminds me of the places we used to go. But all I got is a photograph, and I realized
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Got out of town on a boat going to Southern Islands, sailing to reach before a following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside and the downhill run to Papa Ete. Off the wind on this heading line, the Marquesas. You got 80 feet of a water line, nicely making way. In a noisy bar in Avalon, I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, Lord, your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman girl who knows love can endure, and you know it will. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are a-dying, and my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. I have my ship, and all her flags are a-flying. She is all that I have left, and music is her name. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, Lord, your voice is calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman girl who knows love can endure, and you know it will, and you know it will. So we cheated and we lied and we tested, and we never failed to
fail. It was the easiest thing to do. You will survive being bested. Somebody fine will come along, make me forget about loving you. In the Southern Cross.
You know what cheeses me off is like when some stations will. VH1 was a great channel. I loved it. But
Okay.
they would play the video and they would cut off the last verse.
Okay.
You know, the last verse it brings everything home. It's got this sad irony, you know, knowing that you know he's on this boat trip to forget his former love, but you know he's not going to forget her any more than he can the the Southern Cross constellation there. You know, as the sailors, it's a horrible verse to cut off. It's such a, you know, it ties the whole thing together.
Gotcha.
So Southern Cross is based on a song called Seven League Boots by Rick and Michael Curtis. And Stephen Stills explained that these guys came to him and said, well, we have this song that, you know, maybe you guys would be interested in. You guys are, you know, talking about best harmony people. I mean, like, you know, Crosby, Stills, and Nash, they were so good at it. So these people envisioned that this is what the song could be like. And Stephen Stills took it and, you know, he rearranged it and everything. And he's like, you know, and everyone gave him a lot of credit. He's like, look, I just took somebody else's diamond and polished it. You know, you know, don't give me too much credit here.
Yep.
But it's probably my favorite Crosby, Stills, and Nash song. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go a little further. I'm going to say it's, if I made a list, which would be tough to do because it depends on where in your life you ask this question, but I would put it in the top 20 songs, my favorite songs of all time. That's a great song.
It is a good song.
And that's a bold statement that I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need more of this, okay? We need Paul Rogers was talking about you know, writing songs and everything. He's like, I don't understand, you know, you should you never bring politics and stuff that surrounds you every day. God bless him. We need more of that. I don't want to go listen to your
Sometimes it works if you're if you want to send a message.
I know.
If you do it all the time, then you become tired.
I know. Especially, you know, I
all the time. Like the Kent State song, Ohio.
Okay.
A great protest song.
Yep.
They didn't do it all the time.
Yeah. But
it worked because it delivered a point and it wasn't their normal song.
But it's something, you know, was an event that happened.
Right.
It's not like I don't know who was the singer a couple years ago released the song "Dear Mr. President." Like, don't give me your didactic, you know, holier than thou. Your opinions are better than everybody else's stuff.
Well, it's okay. Again, we don't have to buy it.
Which I didn't. I can't even remember the name of the artist. So
Right.
there you go. But this was Paul Rogers talked about. He's like, you know, people that's depressing. They want to get away from it. They want a fantasy.
Entertainment, right? That's why so many people are upset with sports stars and things like that rail on politics all the time. Hey, we watch you or don't watch you because we want to escape from our crappy lives.
Yep.
And you know.
And let's face it, okay? whose idea are you changing? All right, if you're voting for somebody,
there's a lot of stupid people out there.
But if you're voting somebody because, you know, on one side Bruce Springsteen is telling you to do it, on the other side, you know, Ted Nugent is telling you to do it, you know, you shouldn't be voting.
But there are a lot of people who are influenced by that because they don't take the time to do their own research. We are lucky because we were raised in Catholic schools where we were set to be curious.
Yeah, and I always tell people too is like sometimes, you know, like. You know, I think when we're, especially in the presidential election, we all walk in, we know who we're voting for president, we know who we're voting for, like governor or things like that. But then when you look at the ballot and it says choose 3 people to be on the town council and there's 12 names, if you haven't done your research, don't say, oh, I saw that guy sign. You know, do a little research. You can find out.
Actually, that's more important to your daily lives than the president or the governor.
It is.
Well, the governor
Don't just say this guy, this guy, this guy. Or, you know, girl, and the ballot questions. Usually there's not more than like 3. I mean, like California, you get like 27. But here in Massachusetts, there's like 3. Do a little research.
Yep.
Don't just go nilly-dilly. Or
You
if
can read
haven't-
this. You can read the summaries.
Yeah.
They get mailed to you every year by the
And if
Secretary of State.
If you have, all right, now here people say, well, you're pushing your politics. No, I'm just telling people to, you know what? If you haven't done the research, leave that blank. Leave that. Don't vote for any town councilors if you don't know them.
Right.
So anyway, basically, as Paul Rogers of Bad Company said, it's music should be like a fantasy. I want you to know, and for the most part, I'm talking to my entire radio audience and the three people who watch the three towns that watch me on their TV stations in Westfield, Agawam, and Southwick.
Yes.
That you are all, every single one of you, are part of my rock and roll fantasy. Here's Bad Company, 89.5 WSKB.
Here come the jesters, 1, 2, 3. It's all part of my fantasy. I love the music and I love to see the crowd dancing in the aisles and singing out loud. Yeah. Here come the dancers, one by one. Your mama's calling, but you're having fun. You'll find you're dancing on that number 9 cloud. Put your hands together now and sing it out loud. It's all part of my rock and roll fantasy. It's all part of my rock and roll dream. Yeah. It's all part of my rock and roll fantasy. It's all part of my rock and roll dream. Put up the spotlights, one and all, and let the feeling get down to your soul. The music's so loud you can hear the sound, reaching for the sky, turning up the ground. It's all part of my rock and roll fantasy. It's all part of my rock and roll dream. Oh yeah. It's all part of my rock and roll fantasy. It's all part of my rock and roll
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
If you receive my letter telling you I'd soon be free, then you'll know just what to do if you still want me. If you still want me, oh, tie a yellow ribbon around the old tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon around the old tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a yellow ribbon around the old tree. Bus driver, please look for me, 'cause I couldn't bear to see what I might see. I'm really still in prison and my love, she holds the key. A simple yellow ribbon's what I need to set me free. I wrote and told her, please, oh, tie a yellow ribbon round the old tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still want me? If I don't see a ribbon around the old tree, I'll stay on the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. If I don't see a yellow ribbon around the old tree. Now the whole damn bus is cheering, and I can't believe I see 100 yellow ribbons around the old tree. I'm coming home.
Tie ribbon on the old oak tree. Tie ribbon on the old oak tree. Tie ribbon on the old oak tree. Tie ribbon on the old oak tree.
I hate that song.
You hate that song?
Yes.
Maybe you would have liked it better if I had written it?
No.
Well, it would have had a different ending if I had written it.
I know. You always like sad endings.
No, I don't. I like more realistic endings.
Sad endings.
Generally. Mostly my plays do. I mean, I don't want horrible things to happen to my characters. Just, sometimes Heartbreaker is more memorable than. But I mean, that's a touching. That's a
sad.
It's based on a true story. Reader's Digest. The guy who wrote the song got the story from the Reader's Digest about these 6 college kids that were taking a bus from New York to Fort Lauderdale, and that's a long bus ride. So they were talking with this guy, and the guy in the seat said, "I've been in prison for 4 years. I'm coming home, and my wife, she was writing me letters, but she only wrote me letters for this first 6 months, and she hadn't given me a letter in like 3.5 years.
Ooh.
And my last letter to her was that: tie a ribbon around the tree up front, so I'll know." So that's where the story came from, and because basically in the letter said,
that's not going to end well.
I believe it did end well.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, that was the.
Wow.
I think so. I mean, unless
usually those stories, those don't end well.
Yeah, not usually, no. But the guy who wrote the song was like, "Oh my!" So he read that story in the Reader's Digest. Says, "Holy crap!" He's like, "That's a movie." And he's like, "I can't write a movie. I'll write a song. I can write songs." So he wrote a song. It's funny because I don't know if you remember vaguely when you were younger. You're a little younger than I am, but Tony Orlando and Dawn, they had a variety show.
Yep.
And I remember, I don't remember seeing the show, but I remember seeing commercials for it. And in the commercial, they would say, Tony Orlando and Dawn, and you'd see him, and you had the 2 backing singers. So as a kid, being 4 or 5 years old, I thought it was Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. So then I found out that his name was Tony Orlando. I'm like, well, who's the other girl? If it's Tony Orlando and Dawn, who's the other girl? Not realizing that Dawn was the name of his backing band. You know, they were both Dawn, the girls. They were,
Yeah. That was the name of the band.
But you know, when you're a kid, you're like, I just assumed it was Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. And no, Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. Well, who's the other girl? But you know, because when you're 5, you think of things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to say this in the opening of the show. Do you know what today is?
Labor Day?
No. What else today is?
I don't know. What new season of...
This is episode 1 of season 9.
Good Lord.
Season 9.
We keep bringing you back.
They keep bringing me back. Apparently I'm doing something right. All 3 TV stations haven't dropped me, right?
Mm-hmm.
All 3 are still with us. So this is season 9. Welcome to season 9. When you think of all the great shows, TV shows that never got a... Oh, you know what's interesting? This was opposed, and you like science fiction TV, right?
Yeah.
Somebody proposed this question, and I can't believe I'm saying no. They said in the question, you can have season 2 of Firefly, which I'm like, there's, you know, what wouldn't I give up for season 2 of Firefly? But you have to give up all 4 seasons of the Battlestar Galactica reboot.
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one, but I don't think I do it. As much as I love Firefly, I don't know if I give up the 4 years that we got from the Battlestar Galactica reboot.
Mm-hmm.
That is a tough question. I don't think I do it. And I'm mad at myself for saying that because Firefly, heck, my daughter's name is Serenity. You know, that's not a coincidence. And if she was a boy, she would have been named Battlestar Pegasus McMahon. So fortunately, she was born as a girl. All right, now, any thoughts?
No.
No? I mean, do you make the trade?
No, I actually enjoyed the reboot. So
I did too. I mean, and I went in kicking.
And I'm not as much of a Firefly fan as you are.
I went in. Have you seen all the episodes?
Still not a fan.
Wow. Okay, that's fine. You know, not everybody.
Different tastes.
Some people don't like Citizen Kane, which they're wrong, but that's fine.
They're not wrong. It's their own opinion.
Some people don't like me. Can you believe that? You're the hero or villain, depending on who's telling the story. All right, so now this band, even though they didn't have any more hits after 1967, they continued to record and perform for a small but devoted audience into the 1970s and performed live consistently until 1982. But on June of that year, one of the singers collapsed and died of a heart attack, and she was only 42. So when these hits were out here, they were younging, and they went after semi-retirement. Although they did accept an invitation to record backup vocals for Dionne Warwick, the surviving members. So that's kind of cool. So when they were younger, in the 60s, they came out with this song. Here's the Shirelles in "Foolish Little Girl" in 9.5 WSKB.
You broke his heart and made him cry, and he's been blue since then. Now he's found somebody new, and you want him back again. Foolish little girl, fickle little girl, you didn't want him when he wanted you. He's found another love, it's her he's dreaming of, and there's not a single thing that you can do. But I love him. Now you've done it's just for pride that's hurt. I
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wait a second, man. What do you think the teacher's gonna look like this year? Teacher, stop that screaming. Teacher, don't you see? Don't wanna be no uptown fool. Maybe I should go to hell, but I'm doing well. Teacher needs to see me after school. I think of all the education that I missed, but then my homework was never quite like this. Oh, got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm not the teacher. I've got it bad, so bad. I'm not the teacher. I heard your ministers were back. I brought my pencil. Give me something to write on, man.
Did you ever have a crush on a teacher?
Maybe.
No, I never did. I never had. I think I was realistic. I'm like, oh, what can I offer this woman? You know, I don't have a job.
Well, it's not. There's not. When you have a crush, it's not really about your brain.
I know, but you know, I like to have crushes that are at least somewhat attainable. I mean, yeah, I've got celebrity crushes. You know, I loved Gina Davis for a long time. I didn't really.
I had a couple of crushes in high school for other students.
Well, yes, of course you did. And in fact, I think we might have shared a crush or two. Those
Probably, yeah.
Those who are just tuning in. Pete and I, we went to the same high school. We didn't hang out. We didn't really know each other, but
year apart.
Yep, and
I was a little bit younger,
but it was a bigger school. But I was a big fan of your class. In fact, I taken on dates many members of the junior class when I was a senior.
Younger women.
Yeah, the younger women. The 12 months and yeah. I didn't go for those. I didn't go for those my age. They were too old. I can't
go for that.
So now the video featured Lillian Muller. Now, she seemed somewhat familiar. The teacher. She was Rod Stewart's love interest in "Do You Think I'm Sexy" video that we saw 5 years earlier. So 5 years later, she's still a video star, which is kind of cool. And that song was for the longest time the answer to a trivia question. What was the last single release of David Lee Roth and Van Halen together? And that was it until their reunion many years later. And what's kind of interesting, the 1984 album, which was a fantastic album. I mean, who didn't have that album growing up?
Jeez, I'm looking at pictures. She's still hot.
Today? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, good for her.
She's Norwegian.
Wow. So, of course, the iconic drawing on the cover of the album is that angel baby, baby with the wings, smoking. And Van Halen had approached the artist because they were fans of her work to do an album cover for them. They kind of wanted like 4 women on the cover of the album. And she wasn't really that interested. She's like, rock and roll is not really my thing, and I'm not really into that. But thanks anyway, guys. But her husband was a fan of Van Halen, and he brought the band like some of her other pictures that hasn't really been big or released or anything, and they saw that picture there, the baby cherub smoking, and they're like, oh God, this is it. And they made her an offer, and she's like, all right, well, I don't have to do any more work. Okay, fine. You want to pay me for that? Go ahead. So that's how we got that iconic album cover. Great little tune. Hot for Teacher. Now this this was funny. Okay, I saw this on I think it was Facebook, and how you get you get posts from your friends, but then you get random other stuff too.
Yep.
And one of it was name a band, take a band, but take all the vowels out and see if people can guess what band it is. And I love this response. Somebody put Styx. Which, of course, has no vowels at all.
Isn't Y technically a vowel?
No, it's a A-E-I-O-U. Those are the vowels. Y will pinch hit once in a while, but it's not like a full-fledged member of the band. Like sometimes he'll go on tours with them and stuff.
Gotcha.
It's kind of like Young, Crosby, Stills, Nash.
I just remember how what's it? The Wheel of Fortune has the extra vowel.
So did Y count as a vowel on Wheel of Fortune?
I'm not sure. I think so.
What if, like, on the word story, it wouldn't count?
Isn't that they give you the extra letter as a vowel or something?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess it depends on the word.
Yeah.
But like Styx technically has, I guess,
no
Styx
vowels
there. I mean, the Y is working as a vowel there, named after, of course, the river in Hades.
Right.
But so this song, Dennis DeYoung wrote this song.
The one huge ballad is this song, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of Styx's ballads were written for Suzanne. Now, this was his high school, Dennis DeYoung's high school sweetheart, and Suzanne, and she was very supportive of him. And the great story is they are married today, still. After all, I mean, how many rock and roll marriages last? All that,
right? They don't.
So he wrote her this song. And, of course, he eventually wrote Babe and The Best of Times once the band was established and, ballads were tough. But when this song came out, it took forever. It took forever for it to become a hit because radio stations didn't know how to classify it,
Right.
It's a ballad.
Technically, it's adult contemporary.
Yeah.
Because it's really not a heavy rock song.
But, I mean, there's plenty of heavy in it, But
portions, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, radio stations didn't know how to classify it, so it took forever for it to actually become a hit. And then once it became a hit, boom, we got song after song after Styx. And I've seen Dynasty Young without Styx, and I've seen Styx without Dynasty Young, and they're both enjoyable shows. But you can see, even in their performances, that they are bitter towards each other. Well, Dynasty Young seems more hurt. Like, Dynasty Young is like, after he did Don't Let It End in concert, he's like, well, of course, we did let it end. And then, of course, one of the songs that really broke the band up was Mr. Roboto. And, so Dynasty Young will do that in concert, and he'll be like, see, you guys like that song, right? And then Styx knows that, you want to hear Mr. Roboto, so they, in the middle of one of the songs, that I forgot what song they did.
They play a riff of it?
Yeah, they go, don't worry, Mr. Roboto. Boom. They're like, here it is. You want it? Here's 15 seconds of it, So we're never gonna see those guys work that out, I don't think. But so here's the first song that Dynasty Young wrote for his wife Suzanne.
Well, they said that about the Eagles, and hell froze over.
Yeah, it's true. But I would be shocked. But I'm hoping, even though they're all getting pretty.
True, that's what I'm saying. Time is running out.
Yep, time is running out. Here is basically, he wrote this for Suzanne because she was, and always will be, his lady.
Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling. Give me, whoa, 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 your love. Your hands build me up when I'm sinking. Touch me, and my troubles are fade. Lady, from the moment I saw you standing, whoa, 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 alone, you gave all the love that I needed. So shy, like a child who had grown young.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.com. WSFD-LP.org.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me. Darling, you send me. Honest you do, honest you do, honest you do. Whoa. Thrill me, I know you thrill me, darling. You thrill me, honest you do. At first I thought it was infatuation, but ooh, it's lasted so long. Now I find myself wanting to marry you and take you home. Whoa, you send me. I know you send me. I know you send me. Honest you do. Honest you do, honest you do. Whoa, and oh, I know when you hold me. Whoa, whenever you kiss me. Honest you do. At first I thought it was infatuation, but ooh, it's lasted so long. Now I find myself wanting to marry you and take you home. I know you send me. I know you send me. Oh, you send me. Honest you do.
Sam Cooke. There I am.
Sorry, I'm trying to show you something here. I'm
Oh.
going to bring it up in a second.
Okay. Sam Cooke. I like Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke was great, and we'll never find out what happened there. I still think he was murdered. I don't think it was a justifiable homicide. You can look in that story. We should get a movie on that. Put that on my list.
You're a writer.
Yeah, I know. I still got to write the Badfinger movie.
I think that one would be cool, actually, because that's kind of like, that should be a behind the music type of thing.
Badfinger? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, so he recorded the song, and his producer, Bumps Blackwell. What a great name, Bumps Blackwell. So he brings it to the record label, and the record label's like, "What's with that that choir in the background?" And people, it's too secular. It's people are going to think that, no, it's going to alienate the audience. It sounds like a church choir. And they're like, well, we really think it's a good song. We want to release it. And the record guy label said, you know what? If you want, we'll buy out the contract. All right? If you feel that strongly, go ahead. And they said, okay, we'll agree to that. And the song became a huge hit, sold 2 million copies. Idiots. With a brand new label. They said, thank you very much. Hey, that Westfield Bank bump that you put in the middle there, is that new?
No.
It sounds like a different recording. I didn't know. Maybe they added a branch or subtracted a branch, and you had to record a new one.
Nope.
Huh?
Nope, same old one.
Huh.
They probably added branches. You just haven't asked us for a new one.
Okay.
Have you seen Maverick yet?
No, but I'm going to. I absolutely going to.
Check this out. My friend Rick Peterson, who is the announcer for the last 2 air shows in the area, They're doing an IMAX documentary on the Blue Angels, and the guy that did the visuals for that move for Maverick, Kevin LaRosa, is doing all the visuals for that and it's going to be IMAX and Bad Robot is doing the documentary. So they're following the Blue Angels for an entire year. Look at the helicopter shot.
Wow. Yeah.
And then look at the other shots that they have.
Wow.
The visuals are going to be unfreaking believable.
And when are we getting that?
They're following for the entire season this year, so probably next year sometime. But that's gonna be absolutely wild.
Yep, that would be cool.
I will pay good money to see that. I'll find out how much to rent a theater for that. To have all my friends come and have a huge watch party. I will. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And yet, Peter, you have not seen the movie I was in.
Which one was that?
Which one was that? How many movies have I been in?
I don't know.
One. That was a real movie. I got the IMDb page. The world needs a new superhero.
Oh.
But that's okay.
Isn't that on a video or something?
It's on Vimeo, and I think it might be on something else.
You'll have to send me the link. You never did.
But that's okay. My wife, my daughter, my mother, my sister, nobody's seen it. Just my friend Joyce is the only person who.
Well, send me the link.
Can we be honest?
It wasn't that good.
It's not exactly an Academy Award-winning film. I think.
So.
But
listen, when I was in high school, I did a lot at Longmeadow Cable Access, and there was an aspiring filmmaker, Gato Setian, that would do B-movie horror thing. We did a thing called Red Meadow. It was a feature-length film about the Russians invading Longmeadow, so and it was hokey, but it was fun to work on. My friend Dave Krause passed away, but he did a lot of horror movie shorts, both in Longmeadow, and then when I worked out in Munson Palmer, we did stuff out in the woods out there, and I enjoyed every one of them. Sometimes I was in them. Most of the times I was shooting and editing, helping them edit them. But yeah, all that kind of stuff is just cool to me. It's just fun.
I gotta get together with the movie that I'm making based on the musical that I wrote, but it's so tough because I have this dream team. I know exactly who I like to get for certain things and everything, but try to get everyone on at the same time. It's just
no, I understand.
I may need some B choices. Anyway, speaking of people who made bad decisions, we're going all the way back to the person, the record label, who didn't want to release that song.
Yep.
Let's talk about Steve Perry's ex-girlfriend, who she was kissing another man, and a young Steve Perry was so distraught that he wrote this song, and of course it became a big hit.
Sure.
So out of tragedy comes wonderful things, but. I don't know who she was kissing, but I'm willing to bet you he didn't make as much money as Steve Perry did. Here's Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin', Journey, 89.5 WSKB.
You make me weak and wanna die just when you said we tried loving, touching, squeezing each other. When I'm alone, all by myself, your arms with someone else, loving, touching, squeezing each other. You're tearing me apart every day. You're tearing me apart. Oh, what can I say? You're tearing me apart. It won't be long, yes, till you're alone with your lover. Oh, he hasn't come home, 'cause he's loving who he's touching, he's squeezing. I know
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
I saw her today at the reception. A glass of wine in her hand. I knew she was gonna meet her connection. At her feet was a footloose man. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, well, you might find you get what you need. And I went there to the demonstration to get my fair share of abuse. Singing we're gonna vent our frustration. If we don't, we're gonna blow a 50 amp fuse. Sing it to me. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometimes, well, you just might find you get what you need. Oh, baby, yeah. Oh. I went down to the Chelsea drugstore to get your prescription filled. I was standing in line with Mr. Jimmy. A man, did he look pretty ill? We decided that we would have a soda. My favorite flavor, cherry red. I sung my song to Mr. Jimmy. Yeah, and he said one word to me, and that was there. I said to him, you can't always
The Rolling Stones. Do you think that's true?
You can't always get what you want.
Can't. That stinks. I'm bopping around here. You think I'm somebody's like? Think there's like a Kowalski type person out there? I'm not like their super soul. Do you even get that reference? Do you even get that reference?
No.
Okay. I'm like 10% Charlie. Only 10% of my references. Vanishing Point. The first really ultimate car chase movie.
Okay.
Ever heard of it?
What's that? Vanishing Point?
Vanishing Point.
I've heard of the movie, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you should see it sometime.
Like I have time.
Well, before you die.
Okay. Hey, are you ready for the biggie?
No.
Why not?
I don't like the biggie. I know that doesn't make me popular. I know.
What happens if we go and just do all our shows at the biggie?
I don't get it. Pay to park, pay to get in, and buy overpriced food.
If you were doing your show there, you wouldn't pay to park.
I know.
You wouldn't pay to get in.
I know. And living in Agawam, I just hate the traffic because it all spills over into my town.
It's only for a couple of weeks.
I know. I don't get it.
It brings enough economic driver to keep your taxes lower than they would be.
I know that I'm in the minority, that everyone loves it, and people think I'm crazy for not liking it. I don't get it. I went a couple of years ago because my daughter, it was Agawam Day, and when she went to school, they gave her like free passes and stuff, and we went. But it's like the first time I went in like 12 years or so. It's just
So next year when I tell you have to do your show over there, you're going to be pissy about it.
I don't know. It depends what else is going on in my life. Like if you told me right now, I probably wouldn't be that thrilled.
If I did it on an off week where you could spend the rest of the day there.
Are you saying this year or next year? You're coming to me.
I'm trying for next year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. I'm hoping optimistically that my life is a lot better a year from now. So, yeah, I might be more open to it. Like right now, I don't think I might be little.
Like they have this new thing called the Chill Zone, which is between the Better Living Center and that big stage by the Brooks Building.
Mm-hmm.
The main building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be all local businesses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be a great spot for us to set up, put up some speakers, and do our morning shows.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I mean, but no one's in there at that time yet, right?
There are people setting up and things like that. But then we could tape shows. You could tape your show in the afternoon, and do all your music, and you'd be the most popular person there because you'd be playing tunes all day.
Yeah. I'm not even the most popular person in my house.
Well, we could up the percentages.
Everybody loves Mama. Anyway, I don't know.
I'll let that one go.
All right, we'll see. I mean, if there is even a season 10, do you think there'll be a season 10?
As far as I know, as long as you keep wanting to do it, we can keep doing it.
Well, I mean, is there anybody? I mean, I know the person who hired me is no longer in charge. Is there anybody over there that's got the power to fire me now?
No.
I mean, assuming I don't do something stupid on the air.
No, because here's the thing: if the radio part went away, we'd still be doing the TV part. So.
Oh.
I would ultimately probably make that decision. You'd have to do something really, really bad for me to kick you off the air.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, sleep with your girlfriend. That'd get me fired, right?
That'd get you kicking the nuts.
But it wouldn't get me fired?
Probably not, no.
Wow.
Business is business.
Okay. That would be an interesting... I'm saying it'd be an interesting dynamic. I think people would tune into it.
I'd beat the crap out of you. We'd have a cage match up in the upstairs, and I'd beat the crap out of you. But
I'm talking about ratings wise, Peter. Okay,
right? Like, they tune in for that. Me beating the crap out of you.
All right. How about this?
Remember, I have a mass advantage in a steel cage. You can only go so far.
I think I got the speed though.
In a steel cage, you can only go so far.
But okay, all right. Hear me on this. I don't actually do it. We just tell everyone I did it, and then that way people would tune in.
Kayfabe? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, we'll talk about that.
But if you told everybody you didn't do it, then my girlfriend would come kick your ass.
Yeah, it's true too, because then we're soiling her reputation.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Ass, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll come up with something else.
Okay.
Well, what do we do every week?
We play a Massachusetts band.
Yes, we do.
Or try to.
Yes, we do. And in which I think we have. I don't think we've had. One time that we almost forgot, and we were like, oh my gosh, and we played it like the last
Squeezed
song.
one in, yeah.
Yeah, squeezed at the end. But right here, after rehearsal one day, the band Aerosmith, they were getting together, and then Brad Whitford, the guitarist, he was like playing this riff. And Steve's like, I don't even know what that's from. What are you practicing? He's like, I don't know. I just kind of came up with that. He's like, wait a minute. keep going. And he ran over to the drums because the drummer, Joey Kramer, had already left. And he takes the drums and he's banging on the drums on it. And it inspired, Whitford too, because basically, he wasn't playing the drums like a real drummer. He was banging away. He's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee up there.
Yeah.
And they said, wow, you know what? And they stuck around and they put the song together. Here is Last Child by Aerosmith, 89.5 WSKB.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield. You know, I don't think the boy bands of the 90s and 2000s get enough credit.
Yeah, some of the harmonies were effective.
Oh my God, they're awesome.
Yeah, the whole thing that I had against boy bands, where I'm like, you're not really a band if no one's playing an instrument.
Well, look at the Temptations.
Yeah,
they're not a band then.
Yeah,
they didn't play instruments, right?
Yeah.
that's what I compare them to. You know, all these anything Ronnie Spector, all those. They're just singers, man. He had the wall of sound behind him, and those are session musicians.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Motown, not a lot of them people played. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see your point.
It's just a different era, highly produced, different sound. But the music business is the music business. They're going to churn out whatever they can.
So A.J. McLean, he was supposed to sing this song's bridge, and Brian Luttrell and Nick Carter, they were going to sing the verses, but on the day of recording, A.J. McLean came down with a strep throat.
Ooh.
And so he couldn't do that, and he was replaced with Brian Luttrell, whose vocals were, featured on the song. So, whoops.
I mean, hell, look at the Beach Boys. I mean, most of their out recordings were not played by the band.
Yeah. All right, that's a good point.
Yeah,
it's a good
like
point.
I said, I enjoy those tunes. For our age group, they don't get a lot of credit for that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about how huge Pentatonics is now, and they don't. I think they're releasing their first album of originals with some actual instruments on it, and that album's coming out like it's either out right now or just came out.
My daughter likes them. Maybe we'll have to pick that up for her.
Yeah.
Boy, you know what? We're gonna have to cut some songs today because
Probably.
we're running out of time.
Or we could go long if you want to.
That confused people.
Special edition.
It was the so this song was the third #1 song that Desmond Child wrote with the band Bon Jovi, and Desmond Child, he was a singer, had not very much success, but then
a little bit,
not a lot. Then he co-wrote "I Was Made for Loving You" with Kiss, and that put him on the map. And suddenly he was, wanted as a singer. And he co-wrote 3 #1 songs with Bon Jovi. "You Give Love a Bad Name" and "Living on a Prayer," and this song, "Bad Medicine." Now, Desmond Child loved working with Bon Jovi because all the acts that he worked with, all the rock and roll stars, they were drugged out. And he's like, Bon Jovi was just, their drug, their high was performing.
Mm-hmm.
They were focused on their career and their music, and they didn't want to ruin it with drugs. Hello, somebody gets it. I mean, how many people, if you're rock and roll, how many people have ruined their lives, through drugs? Everybody.
Aerosmith almost did.
Yes, they did.
Guns N' Roses definitely did.
To the point where Steven Tyler was somewhere. I can't remember the song. He heard the song playing. He's like, we should do a cover of this. And his friend was like, "That's you, idiot."
It was.
He goes,
the
"Really?"
guitar player said that.
Yeah, I don't remember recording this song. What song was it?
That was in their book.
It was in their book. What song? Do you remember?
I can't remember the song, but he's like, "We should do that song."
They sound like us. They are us.
I should let you borrow the book sometime. You
Yeah,
should
it would
read
be
that.
good. Yeah. After you see a vanishing point, I'll read the book. It takes a lot longer to read a book than to see vanishing point.
I know, but you know what? It was. I read it and I couldn't stop.
I know.
reading it.
I would enjoy that absolutely. And almost any autobiography, if it's well written, no matter who it is very well done. I picked up Stephen Percy, the guy.
I want it back though because it's a signed copy. So.
Oh, cool. All right, so we got to shut up. We're running out of time. Here's Bon Jovi and "Bad Medicine," 89.5 WSKB.
97.5 WSKB.
I need you like you need me, truly and completely, never be apart. I think that you should tell me, come right out and tell me just what's in your heart. And if you think that it's alright, let's make a deal and work it out. We'll walk into the sunset, you and I, with no more alibis. When we tell each other no more lies, no more lies, no more lies, no more lies. Well, truth is my addiction, stranger still than fiction, wider than the sky. And songs that have such feeling, words that have such meaning, dreams that never die. And if you think it sounds okay, let's turn around and start again. We'll walk beside the ocean, hand in hand, with no more alibis. When we tell each other no more lies, no more lies. I sometimes think that maybe you're just a little girl. You know I love you, baby. I've got to tell the world. So that's the final story, the truth in all its glory. See how much I care. You know you drive me crazy, 3
Yeah, the Moody Blues. Hey, you know, I wrote that song.
You did.
Nah, that's a lie. I say I broke it already. I think, you know, the Moody Blues, I think, really, they are one of the most underrated bands of all time. They had a great sound, and they had so many great songs, and I don't think people talk or appreciate them enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Moody Blues. Now, they got their name because when they started, they would dress all in black, and they wouldn't smile in their concert. That was their image, and they liked to play blues music. Eventually, they kind of grew out of those phrases, but they were stuck with the name already. So that's why they're known as the Moody Blues, because of their beginning. But I seen them in concert. Justin Hayward's got a great voice. That's a great forgotten song. It's one of their last hits. Well, barely a hit. No More Lies. Holy crap! We had to cut 4 songs. We did a lot of gabbing today. I feel bad.
That's okay. It was good flow for the show today.
Good show. Yep.
We had
cut,
good flow.
Sweet, Beatles, Sonny and Cher, and Head East. We had a cut. So there's a good chance you'll hear those songs next week.
Yeah.
So I do my research. So that's the first episode of season 9.
Season 9, huh?
Yes. Look at that.
God help us.
Season 9. The Carol Burnett show only lasted like 4, right?
Who did?
The Carol Burnett show?
I don't know.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah.
And you do many more episodes in a season than they do.
I do. I crack up less during the show. I keep my composure a little better than they did.
Well, maybe we need a Harvey Korman.
Yeah. We should.
Maybe Kenny needs to come here and bust your chops every Monday morning.
Maybe
or
once in a while. He's busy getting his ham, right?
Well, he's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the show. Hopefully you learned something. Did you learn something today?
I did.
Oh, good.
Always do.
I am Michael Buster McMahon. Drink your milk, look both ways before crossing the street, and never, ever give up your dreams. That's my pal and producer in there, Peter Coles. Say goodbye, Peter.
Goodbye, Peter.
We may have a cool special guest next week, too. I'm finalizing that, so that'd be kind of cool. We always like
come into the studio?
No, she'll be on the phone.
Oh, for cripe's sakes. Why don't we do it on Zoom?
Because the phone works.
Okay.
Because then she's got to get up early and do her hair and everything. I don't know if she wants to do that. I don't know if she wants to do that.
Jeez.
But I'll tell you, I don't want to tell you because it might spoil it because we might not get her.
Yeah.
Anyway, we always like to end the show with something kind of fun. We played this song about a year ago, and people seem to love it. So I don't know why we waited so long to close the show with it again. From the Electric Company. Tom Lehrer was great. He went to Harvard. He wrote the Harvard Fight song, and he taught at MIT. And but he's going to be forever known as writing a lot of those fun songs on the Electric Company. Here's the LY song. We'll see you next week. 89.5 WSKB.
This is Lee. It's spelled L-Y, and it's very useful. Let me show you.
You're wearing your squeaky shoes, and right there taking a snooze is a tiger. So how do you walk on by? Silently, silently, silent. L-Y. You're a secret agent man who's after the secret plan. How do you act so they don't know you're a spy? Normally, normal, L-Y. At an eating contest, you boast that you can eat the most. How do you down your 50th piece of pie? Eagerly, yeah. Eager, L-Y. On the lake, your boat upset, and your clothes got soaking wet. How do you stand and wait for them to dry? Patiently, patiently, patient, L-Y. In the public library, you fall and hurt your knee, but the sign says quiet please, so how can you cry? Quietly, quietly, quiet, L-Y. As you walk along the street, a porcupine you meet. How do you shake his hand when he says hi? Carefully, carefully, careful, L-Y. You enter a very dark room, and sitting there in the gloom is Dracula. Now how do you say goodbye? Immediately,